Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Figure I would sit down and do a little chat with you guys. Go ahead, Bubba. You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Taking a pause today. Had to go pay bills and just do some general shopping and stuff like that. It was a real busy weekend, very productive weekend, so I'm really pleased with everything that we got done. We will continue on working on the place, obviously. But it's just, it's really coming together, starting to look like a real home now, which is nice. So I'm real happy how things are all coming together with everything. So we're getting there. It's like I say, it's one step at a time, one thing at a time, one day at a time. So, and that's all we're doing. And we've come a long way, which has been fantastic. So a lot of craziness going on in the world, so I'm not going to get into the whole political issue today because I don't feel like doing that. But,
Dad,
well, honey.
I hate to ask this, but what is the political BS that is happening today?
Oh, just there's always something every day.
Oh.
Okay. So, but we just we keep plugging along and doing what we got to do here in making our lives better, and that's kind of important. A topic that I did want to bring up today, and I actually met my neighbor, that owns behind me. He owns 80 acres behind me, and we started talking. And one of the things that we're going to do up here is we're going to see if we can't get a collective group of neighbors to work together in a worst case scenario, in a shit hits the fan scenario, that we will all collaborate and work together. But getting to know each other ahead of time and finding out whose strengths and weaknesses and what skills that everybody has, and who is willing to work together. So we're definitely going to pursue that avenue, and I would suggest to all of you out there in your neighborhoods, wherever you are, to try to do the same thing. Networking ahead of times, finding out who you like and who you don't like, who's a good fit for your group or not a good fit for your group, or like I said, even just your neighbors in the neighborhood. Who do you know that, okay, I can count on them, they prep as well, they're ready, and you have an agreement that you'll work together when things go south. So, that's important to know. You know what I mean? So, we're going to go around and we're going to start talking to the neighbors, and we're going to see who's interested in joining like a small group, basically to agree that we all work together in a bad situation if something really goes south in this country. But because basically everybody up here in the hills, we would have to stick together to protect what we have. And that's the bottom line. Wherever you are, if you're in a small town, let's say you're in a small town someplace in, let's say, Midland, Texas. I don't know. I'm just making up a name, okay? So you got a small town. You know what that town's going to do? They're going to coordinate off and cut the, and not let outsiders in. Because you're going to have a lot of foot traffic of refugees or whatnot, people looking for resources, looking to hunt, looking to take whatever is there, and you got to be able to protect what you have. So connecting with your neighbors ahead of time is very important. And that's what I wanted to do up here. And him and I were talking about it. And so I know right now the guy behind me who has 80 acres is 100% all in, which is awesome to know. And he's a real nice guy. We've had a couple conversations already, and we're going to definitely be having a lot more. And he preps as well. So I mean, you can't go wrong there. I mean, I can't feed everybody. I have a lot of preps, yes. I would like to add a lot more, which I will, but you really need to, think about who's going to show up at your door that's looking for help or wants help, and how many are you going to actually be able to help. Like I said, my number one priority for me is these two guys right here, and that's it. Those are my number one priorities.
Yeah.
So nobody's taking food out of their mouth. Anyway, so like I said, it's something to think about if, in your neighborhoods, wherever you are, even if you're in an apartment. Talk to other people in your apartment complex, and you try to connect with people. And that's, knowing ahead of time is huge. Who can I rely on? Who preps as well? And then you work together. And having a team in place ahead of time is very important. Something is going to happen in this country eventually, in my opinion. And I can't tell you what it is. I don't know. I don't make predictions. It could be any number of things. You know,
Like ISIS
well,
invaded.
ISIS is overrated. Okay, they're not as strong as people are trying to make them out to be. They're trying to make ISIS out to be the boogeyman right now.
Oh,
So it's another reason to keep us in war forever and ever and ever. Okay, so
right.
that's all that is. Um, there's just a lot of nonsense going on. And so, but anyway,
There was a whole lot of
nicely.
cheese sandwiches going on.
Yes, cheese, but I thought it was banana sandwiches.
Uh, banana and cheese sandwiches.
Right,
Let's not forget cream pies too.
right, okay. So anyway, like I said, just working together is key. Finding people that you can trust, that's also important. And the only way you're going to find those people out in your neighborhood or in your apartment complex or building or whatever is to talk to people. And you can be labeled a nut, but you can have a casual conversation, kind of feel somebody out, and you can kind of go from there. That's how I started with my neighbor. We just were having a casual conversation. He said a couple key things to me in the conversation, and then I kind of opened up to him a little bit. And so now we're definitely going to be working together. We're going to look at, like I said, trying to organize more up here where we are. And there's a couple other people that we have in mind for sure. And there's probably other people that will jump on board. And that's what the key is. It's working together. So anyway, guys, listen. I'm going to cut this off now. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know we had a great weekend. It was very busy, but we got a lot done, which was awesome. So, and as you can hear right now, the generator is not running. We are running completely on solar, so it's nice to have that not running. But like I said, I plan on weeding that out as we go. All right, I will talk to you guys later. Prep and Nurse one out for now.